I think we may have stumbled across the Biden administration's biggest lie yet. And that says a lot. He's told some big ones, that guy. So, you guys know about what's going on in Yemen and what Saudi Arabia is doing there. They're blockading the country. They're preventing food and medicine from getting in. They're on the brink of famine. There's so many people can die as a result of this. We've seen the videos from inside those hospitals with the emaciated children who are dying as a result of lack of food and nutrition, and it's a really terrible situation. Now, this is all preventable. Saudi Arabia is doing this on purpose. They're blockading the country, and they're trying to starve out the government. So what happened a while ago is there was a Sunni government. It was replaced by a Shia government that took it over by force. There was a coup. They took it over by force. And Saudi Arabia wasn't going to stand for that. They don't want Shia Houthis on their doorstep, so they decided we're going to try to topple the government, put the Sunni leader back in. That has resulted in a brutal crackdown and brutal bombing campaign. You have mosques, schools, open-air markets and hospitals. All these have been bombed. And by the way, people in Yemen see that the weapons are from the United States of America. We have aided them in this bombing campaign, in this effective genocide. Now, Biden has been an incredibly weaselly politician on this issue. So he came out and said, we're no longer going to help Saudi Arabia with their bombing. Which everybody hailed as, gee, that's wonderful, because they're bombing these targets which shouldn't be bombed, and we don't like what they're doing. And, well, come to find out, he wasn't really telling the truth. What he said after that is, oh, what I meant was we're not going to help them offensively bomb, but if it's defensive, we'll help with that. Well, guess what? Saudi Arabia's just going to say, all the bombing we do is defensive by definition, and we're going to go right along with it. And that's exactly what's happening. So, totally weaselly. You know, with the Trump administration, their policy was like, yeah, we're going to help them massacre civilians, and we're fine doing that, and we're going to say it. With Biden, it's like, yeah, we're good people, and we're not going to do that. We're going to do it, but we're going to say we're not doing it by pretending we're not bombing anymore, even though we are bombing defensively, just not offensively, even though there is no difference, because they're just going to say everything's defensive. Anyway, here's what happened now. This is from Adam Johnson. He says, under pressure from activists and congressional Dems to force Saudi Arabia to lift the blockade in Yemen, the Biden State Department strategy is to simply deny there's a blockade. This despite Saudi Arabia casually talking about the blockade all the time, and there obviously being one. So they literally said, when pushed on this and pressured on this, they say, I don't know, Shab, there's not even a blockade. So instead of forcing Saudi Arabia to lift the blockade and save tens of thousands, or maybe even hundreds of thousands of lives, they're just like, we're not going to pressure them because there isn't even a blockade. I give you the Biden administration. Here it is. Here it is. These things piss me off more than you can imagine, because this is the wolf in sheep's clothing stuff, where they continue the same policy as Trump, but then they pretend to be holier than thou, more moral. And they just end up lying in this instance. This is like the Weasley stuff around the executive orders. I think this is the worst because it involves like a literal famine and genocide and blockade. But it's like when they said, oh, the headlines were like, Biden's banning private prisons. Then you read and you find out it's only for the Department of Homeland Security, and they only have like 6% of the private prisons or something like that. And so most of the private prisons are staying open. About 60% of the ICE facilities are private prisons. Those are staying open. It's just, let me do the bare minimum. Biden's looking to eliminate student debt. He's eliminating $1 billion of it out of $1.6 trillion. And the $1 billion is just from scam for-profit colleges. So he's eliminating less than 1% of student loan debt. And the headlines were like, Biden looks to eliminate student debt. Bullshit. Buy America executive order. Biden wants to reinvigorate American manufacturing. Signing a Buy American executive order. You read the details, and the thing doesn't have any fucking teeth. And it's actually not the executive order that we all wanted, which was mandate that everything the federal government buy has to be made in the United States of America. He's not doing that. He's doing a Weasley thing like Trump. Trump said he was going to sign that executive order, then he did a Buy America week, where it was just like highlighting American-made products at the White House or some shit. It was all symbolic garbage. Here we are. This is what they do. This is wolf in sheep's clothing all day long, pretending, oh, we're going to hold Saudi Arabia accountable by releasing a report about how they killed Khashoggi. Okay, then what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Well, you do nothing. What message did you just send Saudi Arabia? If you don't like certain journalists coming after you, you can kill them. And there's going to be no consequences. Doesn't matter. Go ahead and kill him. Because there was no consequences for Jamal Khashoggi. None. We're going to hold Saudi Arabia accountable. We're going to not help them bomb anymore. We're going to not aid them in their genocide. Did I say that? What I meant was, what happened was, the sun was in my eyes, and me and Craig and them was down by the Safeway, and then what we did is we started bombing defensively, but really they say everything's defensively, so we're just going to continue helping them bomb. Blockade? No blockade? No blockade. Blockade. There's nothing with them and stuff, and it's not even a blockade, bro. It's not even a blockade, bro. I don't even see a blockade. You see a blockade? I don't even see no blockade. This is the Biden administration's actual response. This is their actual response. It is unbelievable.